Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Mr. Damon, and welcome to something that's a little bit different. This is the Stanley Parable. It's a Half-Life 2 mod. Came out last year, and it's a story-based mod from what I understand, and I actually don't know that much about it. Other than, it's going to be narrated, and you can either choose to go with the narration or go against the narration. So I'm going to have face cam because it's going to be an interesting experience. I have no idea, and it might be fun seeing my reactions to some of the things on the game. So let's just get right into it. Start new game. And this mod actually runs pretty well on my computer. I haven't had it. I loaded it just to see what kind of... Okay, here we go.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Actually, my name is Mr.
Stanley
Damon.
worked for a company in a
Stanley.
big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Yeah, sounds like what I do
Orders
anyways.
came to him through a monitor next to his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Okay.
And then one day something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on a monitor for him to follow.
Oh,
no one showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time.
This is actually very good voice acting, voice narration on this. This is
He got up from his desk and walked out into the hallway.
Okay, so this is us, and we could actually either walk out into the hallway, or we could just kind of... Well, I guess we don't have a choice. We have to walk out into the hallway.
Stanley decided to go to the staff lounge to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Okay. Staff lounge. Let's see, are any of these other doors opening? Nope. Nope. Nobody in that room. Nope.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nope. I'm gonna go to the door on my right.
This was not the correct way to the employee lounge, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. So he turned left at the first open door and walked back in the right direction.
Turn left at the first open door. Nope. I'm gonna do this one and go completely against everything that the narration says.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Maybe this is why everyone had left. No one wanted to be around someone as bad at listening as him. And since he was walking into the middle of nowhere and thus ruining the entire story, Stanley decided that he would punish himself. So when he came to the elevator and the doors opened, he stepped inside and pushed the button to go up.
Nope. I'm gonna push the button to go down. Let's see. Is there a button to go down? Get in. Push the button to go down.
Oh, Stanley. You know, you really aren't going anywhere, and I don't say that deceitfully. I truthfully mean that there isn't a story down here. The story was back up where I told you to go in the first place. Right now, you're just running around looking at empty halls, and frankly, that's perhaps even more infuriating for me. So why don't you throw me a bone, give me a chance, and just let me tell the story I want to tell,
The narrator sounds a bit like Gladys. Like a male version of Gladys. Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
Now listen carefully. This is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope. Blue door.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope. Blue door.
I still don't think we're communicating
I
properly.
didn't took it
Stanley
out.
walked through the red door.
Wait. Is that the blue door? I don't have a flashlight.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Whoa!
You see? It's nothing. No one's even built this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. It's just a bunch of skybox and dead wall textures. That's it. Is this what you were looking for? Was it worth ruining the story I'd written out for you?
Yes, it was. This is
I put a
actually
lot
quite
of time
hilarious.
into that, and now you... Well, here you are now, just looking at nothing.
No, I'm not.
To think that that's all I needed to make in the first place, just a whole lot of nothing, and you would have been happy. Well, hey, you still need a little something to do. Am I right? Here, let me load up another map. See if there's something in here that'll keep you occupied. Ah, here's one. Let's boot this up. We'll see if you like it.
This is fun. Oh, wow. This is rather fun. And I'm not actually having to do anything for it. Node graph out of date. What? Okay. That was weird. Whoa. Okay. This is like freaking Final Fantasy VII or something here.
Well, Stanley, is this any better? I don't know why it would be. This map wasn't even made for you. At least I created a world specifically with you in mind.
Oh no, this is
I wanted to
Half-Life
make you a
2!
leading man. This one, I'm afraid you're on your own there.
This is a freaking Half-Life 2 map, isn't it? Yes, it is! This is the introductory level of Half-Life 2.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got his job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That, or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
No. Okay, this really is like GLaDOS, except for some reason, I like GLaDOS better. Door won't open. It's coming this way. Open door down here.
Hold up, Westport. I spent so long talking about you. Why don't we just take a break from that and talk about something else for a change?
Okay.
Let's
What do you
see.
want to talk
Well,
about?
According to Wikipedia, more than 90% of the night sharks caught off northeastern Brazil contain mercury concentrations higher than that considered safe by the local government.
Wow,
This is
nobody
fascinating.
cares.
Don't you want to know more about the night sharks?
No.
Oh, no, of course not. All you want to hear
No.
about is yourself, isn't it?
Yep, pretty much.
Well, fine. You haven't listened to me once so far. I can't expect you to turn that around now, can I?
Nope. Let's go on. Climb up the ladder. Whoa! Fast climb. Ow.
Is this the end of the line? I don't suppose this was a particularly fulfilling experience for you, considering not a single art aspect in this map was created with you in mind. But
Back to some dev
you're a
textures.
creative kid. I bet you can come up with a story about this place and why you're in it. And while you're doing that, why don't you think up an ending too?
Oh,
Because you certainly won't find one here. I'm afraid that's the long and short of it. This room and these walls are all you get. Maybe the story ends when you decide you can't live in this futuristic science fiction dystopia world. And you gallantly commit suicide.
Suicide?
Or
What
maybe
the?
you stand in this spot for all of eternity to guide and greet other travelers like yourself who pass this way. Or maybe you just get bored and you quit the game. Heck, anything's an ending if that's where you stop playing. But whatever ending you write for yourself, Stanley, you won't
Like I said, my
have
name's
my
not
help.
Stanley. My name is Mr. Damon.
You turned your back on me. and now I do the same to you. So,
Is it really just
good
gonna
luck.
leave me here?
I think you'll need it. And I sincerely hope that everyone lives happily ever after.
I think it's seriously just gonna leave me here. Wow. Such a sad ending. Okay. Nope, I can't go out that way. Can I climb that? Nope. It's not even letting me jump. Okay, so this really is like an ending for the game. Okay, so let's start a new game. This time we'll start doing things up until the point where I started deviating. We'll do things the way the game wants us to do it. I'll meet you guys back at that last decision I made.
Stanley decided to go to the staff lounge to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, here's that first decision. I'm actually going to follow his directions now and see what the intended story for this mod was. Staff lounge.
As Stanley entered the lounge, he was horrified to find not a single person here. He decided he would walk up to see his boss, hoping that he would find an answer there.
That's the only door? Yeah, that's the only door. Okay, so...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Entering his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. It was at this point that he began to feel dizzy and a little sick, and even thought he might pass out when suddenly he noticed a keypad next
I
to
just
the
actually
filing
noticed that
cabinet
myself.
in the corner of his boss's office. Stanley had never seen this panel before and had no idea what combination of numbers would produce any
Denied.
result. In fact, only Stanley's boss knew this, since the panel withheld access to the boss's greatest, darkest secret. And so he had assigned the keypad a combination that only he could possibly know. The number of his freshman dorm number in college. 1957. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct
Random,
by
right.
sheer luck. Amazing. Stanley ventured forth into the newly opened passageway. As he drew deeper into the bowels of the building, Stanley had no idea where he was or what this place held. And just as he began to think he might not discover a thing, he emerged into a long room to find
Whoa.
rows and rows of monitors. Screens with a number above it.
427, that's me,
Stanley
right?
noticed, however, that these were not random numbers, but the number of employees who worked in the building, his co-workers. Even his own number, 427,
Yep,
had a place
that's me.
on the wall.
Right there.
But why a setup so elaborate, he asked. Was this simple surveillance or something even more? And as if in answer to his question, the wall slid open before him, revealing the ultimate truth of the situation. An enormous control panel, Stanley discovered, but not one that controlled simple machinery. Buttons were labeled with emotions: happy, sad. Levers and knobs controlled actions: walking, eating, doing work, or watching TV. Every input on this device monitored not the functions of a machine, but of a human being. And the reality began to sink in. Stanley, like so many other people, reduced to images on a monitor, had been under someone's control, always at the mercy of this machine. Could this have been the only reason employee number 427 was content with his boring job? That a machine had altered his emotions to accept it blindly?
Maybe.
He began to feel an unbridled rage, and at the peak of his anger, something happened. A spark. Stanley looked up and saw the generator overhead, still providing some small amount of power to the machine, keeping it alive. And knowing that this generator was all that kept the controls running, Stanley moved to the ladder in the back of the room and began to climb towards the rafters.
Okay, let's just follow what it's telling me to do. Loud footsteps on the catwalk. Okay, that is rather loud in these headphones here. Ow!
The higher Stanley climbed, the closer he felt to freedom, the further from enslavement.
Interesting. Oh, other side. There's a door here that's going to open, I guarantee it. Watch. I'm being monitored right now. Oh, here we go.
Blackness.
Blackness.
Power gone. All alone. And then...
That door behind me opens. What? Better not be a friggin' jump scare. Oh! I'm in control of the character. Whoa. Okay.
As he stepped through the door into the fresh outside air, a feeling of liberation rushed through Stanley's body. He had seen power, he had seen enslavement, and he had destroyed it.
Or so I think.
The underling was in control now. He had found his leading role.
Voice glitch.
Stanley never discovered why everyone had gone missing, nor how and when he had come under the machine's control. But it didn't upset him terribly, because he knew that this was how things were meant to happen. All he felt was a delight unlike any he had ever known before.
This is a very
Never
good
again would he
story.
follow someone else's orders without question. Never again would anyone tell Stanley where to go, what to do, or how to feel. No more bosses, no more instructions on a screen. Stanley decides for himself now.
Oh, good for you, Stanley.
And he stepped out into the world, and he felt the cool breeze upon his skin, and Stanley was happy.
Nice. Good ending. Am I gonna get credits now, or is there more to it? Credits. Alright. So, that was the Stanley Parable. There are, I think, a few more different endings, but I only wanted to do a couple of them, and I'm gonna have to end this here. So, I will see you guys next episode. Bye.